Beyond the Plate is a podcast where inspiring stories nourish your soul. Through our guests, you have an opportunity to go beyond just the, average conversation. You know, the conversations that we're having right now, just the quick bites, they dry very easily, kind of like alcohol wipe right on our hands.
Wow, what a metaphor. Wow.
Exactly. They go to your soul. They cause your memory, cause your actions, and cause your future to be slightly changed in order for the better. And all of our guests, my co-host Danny Patino and myself, we try to talk to our audience and find something that's not on the Google page, not on Wikipedia, but it's something that we can go beyond in our conversation and take the conversation beyond the plate.
Beautiful.
A Food for the Poor podcast. Very important.
I love ending with the title. Great pitch. A speed pitch.
Speed pitch. Again, go to YouTube. Food for the Poor, Beyond the Plate. I mean, we share a lot of stories from folks that right now aren't in the best conditions in Latin America and the Caribbean. Obviously, it is a topic that we try to bring a little bit of light to. I mean, it's not all dark. It's not always dark clouds, as they say. But it's something that we like to share with families and friends that are here in the States and don't know about families right now that need help in Latin America and the Caribbean. So we have a little podcast there to share with you. And we have a way to say it. I'm from Colombia. My friend Paul is from Jamaica, and we bring that to the podcast in our own little way.
I would like to continue it on. So, let's say my pitch is that I've already done this 5-episode series, and the thing is that when we were doing the research for this show, to find the birth records, you can't just go to Ancestry, right? You can't go and look up, because a lot of people that were born around those times, if you were African American, they didn't even bother writing a birth certificate, and your last name was the name of the owner, and so it's hard to trace back the lineage, right? Mm-hmm. But the lives of these people tied in such a larger picture, like I was talking about earlier. So my pitch for this new show I want to do is kind of a continuance of what I've already done, which ties in Wiley's story, but it ties into the Chicago World's Fair that happened in 1893. That was the first time the world was introduced to a lot of different things, including brownies. Yes.
Whoa!
Yeah. What was it? I think juicy fruit gum.
Wow. So
yes. But other things that were locked in stereotypes, like Aunt Jemima's pancakes was a display here.
Wow.
But also the first serial killer, H.H. Holmes.
Wow.
So we had a lot of firsts here in Chicago, and it all ties to that. But it makes me wonder of how many other stories led up to pouring into this one event that happened in a temporary city that was built in Chicago that was only meant to last for 2-3 weeks.
Yeah,
right?
wow.
Yeah.
Arabs in Media is a podcast that talks about how Arabs are featured in news and entertainment. Mm-hmm. We've got major issues in this world, and we have a lot more in common than we have different among us.
Yes.
And so when you get a peek into Arab people in media and their stories, then hopefully you'll have a better appreciation for that concept of we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
So I have a show that I'm currently working on. It is a scripted fiction show. It is, because I do a lot of writing. I work in the film and TV industry. Mm-hmm. So it is called Beneath the Lair. It is a mockumentary style show in the same vein as Parks and Rec, of The Office, that type of stuff. But it's what is it like to work for a supervillain?
Oh, yeah. Beneath the Lair, Lair.
Yeah.
I do have a new podcast that I'm about to launch this summer called Safe Passages, which is a monthly podcast on travel and digital wellness tips by experts. So I have someone who's been to over 100 countries, and he's a professional photographer, but didn't start traveling till his 50s.
Wow.
I've been...
as a guest?
As a guest.
Amazing.
And so he's going to come and talk. I have someone who I was a research assistant for her book on presence theory, on how we deal with our technology. And so her book, she's a tenure professor at Georgetown University, so she's going to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by experts,
right, exactly.
Travel and digital wellness.
And what was the name of that again?
Safe Passages.
Safe Passages. That sounds amazing.
Okay, so I don't have a podcast myself. Mm-hmm. We represent a bunch of different podcasts.
Okay, all right.
So we represent about 400 podcasts.
Don't turn your mic off, man.
But one I'll talk up about.
Okay.
Spooked. It's a really interesting show coming from California. It's basically a very theatrical audio performance. They have different like voice actors, sound effects. So it sounds like a true production.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Great.
And,
Is it scripted?
It is scripted. It is
Okay.
scripted.
Cool.
Oh, okay. So a podcast idea is about goofy stories from office workers, like the stuff that you never hear about, the water cooler stuff. Because, like in an office, there's got to be stories.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, this is the work stuff we're doing. But
Yeah.
maybe there's like weird things that happen at night or weird things after meetings. So imagine having that sort of conversation, but it's kind of like done in a way where it's like you're not revealing the identity of the person so they can
Cool.
get away with saying whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's podcast idea right
Okay.
there.
So a podcast idea that I have in my mind, because I feel like nowadays in the world we all are doing like 10 million things. I call it intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Where anything that comes to mind that like I just say and I do an episode on. So I'm a really big fan of television shows, films, and I just want to walk into the movie theater and after I'm done, tell you my thoughts about that movie or television show.
So it is called Beyond the Music from Page to Stage, and it is all about what it takes to bring music from an idea all the way to the world-class stages of classical music. So we're kind of pulling back the curtain on what it takes and how to navigate through these big systems and how to think creatively. And we're talking about music education and the technology connection and the leadership connection. And yeah.
Okay, idea for a new show. Let's just do something really off the wall here.
Yeah.
The intersection of faith and zombie apocalypse movies.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, and especially the earlier episodes, earlier seasons of The Walking Dead had a lot of spiritual and religious themes in it, from the church with all of the scriptures on the wall. And in fact, I saw a fan website that was like, I actually started reading the Bible because of The Walking Dead, because of all of these references to scripture. So the horror genre and religion, you don't really think they go together, but if you think about it, they really do.
There are a lot of themes there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Well, how you doing today?
How you doing today?
I'm okay. My name is Mullah, and I'm a part of the Thinking Outside the Box podcast, and we are a movement in Chicago, and what we do here is highlight extraordinary, unique individuals, from actresses to artists to judges, politicians, and we talk about their journey and their success, and we would love to have a sponsorship or you as a guest on our show, to diversify our show a little bit. So that's about it.
Great pitch. Great pitch.